Yo, check it out. While the whole dang world is out here praying for this Ukraine mess to finally chill and find some kind of peaceful solution, there's one country that seems to be playing a different game. And guess what? Russia just called them out. So the Russians are like, yo, UK, what's your deal? Apparently, British intelligence has been messing with Trump's attempts to play peacemaker in the Ukraine war. And just when you thought international drama couldn't get any juicier, Russia straight up booted 2 British diplomats out of the country, gave them 2 weeks to pack up and bounce. Talk about bad Airbnb reviews. Now, let's rewind a bit. Since this Ukraine war popped off in 2022, sanctions and diplomatic beefs have been flying left and right like a game of dodgeball on steroids. But for real, why is the UK going so hard against Russia when they're literally thousands of miles away? It's not like Putin's about to parachute into London. To really get this beef, we gotta hit up history class real quick. Back in the day, like way back, Russia and the UK weren't exactly homies. They started out as business partners, trading fur. Yeah, fur coats were the Bitcoin of the 1500s. But then some sneaky British traders decided to spice up their marketing by telling everyone that Russia was full of wild, dangerous savages. Classic PR move. Fast forward a couple centuries, and these two were going at it like rivals in a rap battle. The Brits were out here teaming up with Sweden and Poland, trying to keep Russia from flexing too hard in Europe. Then, in the 19th century, Russia thought, hey, let's take over some Ottoman Empire turf, and the UK was like, not on my watch, buddy. Boom, Crimean War. Spoiler alert, Russia took an L. But wait, there's more. By the late 1800s, the British and Russians were throwing shade all over the map. Central Asia became their personal boxing ring. Imagine 2 dudes fighting over a chessboard, but the chessboard is an entire continent. Eventually, they got tired of beefing and turned their attention to a new problem, Germany. Come World War I, they actually teamed up. Crazy, right? But then the Russian Revolution happened, and the UK was like, nah, we're out. By World War II, they were back at it again, joining forces to take down Hitler. But as soon as the war was over, the Cold War kicked in, and suddenly it was back to I don't trust you vibes. Fast forward to today, and it's like history on repeat. After Putin came into the picture in the early 2000s, Russia started making moves to bring back that big dog energy. The West, not a fan. Then came the spy scandals, Russians getting poisoned on British soil, James Bond-style drama, all that jazz. And then 2014, Russia snatches up Crimea and boom, sanctions, tension, and a whole lot of finger-pointing. Now, in the present, the UK is leading the Let's Back Ukraine squad, throwing money, weapons, and support their way. And bro, they're serious about it. Doesn't matter who's prime minister, Boris, Sunak, whatever, they all pull up in Kiev like it's their second home. And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, in January 2025, the UK and Ukraine signed some wild 100-year partnership deal. Like, bro, 100 years? That's longer than most marriages. Part of the deal? The Brits are sending Ukraine a ton of high-tech weapons and a massive loan. Except, plot twist, the loan gets paid back using frozen Russian assets. Yep, that's right. Russia's cash is getting used to fund Ukraine's war effort. You can bet Moscow ain't thrilled about that one. But wait, there's more. The UK and Ukraine are also putting together some kind of joint Navy team to secure the Black Sea and Azov Sea, which Russia sees as its backyard. Russia's looking at this like, yo, what are y'all even doing? And honestly, fair question. To top it all off, Russian intelligence says the UK is trying to wreck any peace talks between Russia and the US. Why? Because London's worried that if the US and Russia start playing nice, the UK might lose its VIP seat at the Let's Stop Russia table. So now we got a full-on geopolitical soap opera. Russia's pissed, the UK's doubling down, and Ukraine's just trying to stay in the fight. And with Russia warning that any Western troops in Ukraine will be fair game, this whole thing feels like it's about to level up into a boss battle. But for real, looking back at history, the UK and Russia were actually allies more times than enemies. So the real question is, can they figure this out before things get even messier? Because at the end of the day, smart leaders don't just pick fights. They pick what's best for their people. And let's be real, nobody wants World War III. So maybe it's time to put the egos aside, sit down, and talk like grown-ups. Or, just keep the drama going for another 100 years. Your call, world leaders. What do you think? Got the right vibe?